Hello, friends. If you've been noticing that your memory isn't what it used to be, if you forget where you left your keys more often than you'd like, or if the fear of Alzheimer's keeps you up at night, I need you to listen closely. There are 4 simple ingredients sitting in grocery stores right now that research shows can actually block the progression of Alzheimer's and regenerate brain cells. I'm not talking about expensive supplements or complicated treatments. I'm talking about real food that works with your brain's natural healing process. And the best part? You can start seeing changes in clarity and focus within just 4 to 8 weeks. My name is Dr. Amanda Wells, and I've spent over 2 decades studying how nutrition affects cognitive health in older adults. Welcome to the Dr. Amanda Wells channel, where we talk about real solutions for real people. I'm not here to sell you magic pills or false promises. What I am here to do is share what the latest research is revealing about 4 powerful foods that have neuroprotective properties stronger than most people realize. These aren't trendy superfoods that'll disappear next year. These are ingredients that have been studied extensively, and the results are honestly remarkable. Today, we're going to dive deep into turmeric with black pepper, blueberries, fatty fish like salmon and sardines, and pure cocoa. I'll show you exactly how much to take, when to take it, and why the combination of these 4 creates a synergistic effect that protects your brain better than any single ingredient alone. We'll talk about the science without getting boring, the practical application without getting overwhelming, and at the end, I'll give you a simple checklist and a 7-day meal plan you can start immediately. Here's something that might surprise you. Studies show that seniors who consume these 4 ingredients regularly have up to 40% lower rates of cognitive decline compared to those who don't. The compounds in these foods literally reduce inflammation, increase blood flow to the brain, and help clear out the toxic proteins that cause Alzheimer's. Before we jump in, I'd love to know who's watching today. Drop a comment below and tell me your name, your age, and what city or country you're tuning in from. And if you've already tried any of these 4 ingredients, let me know which one. If this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we post new brain health content every single week. All right, let's get started with ingredient number 1. And trust me, this one is absolute gold. Let's start with the first brain-protecting ingredient, and it's one that's been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine. Turmeric. Now, you've probably seen turmeric in the spice aisle, that bright golden yellow powder that looks almost too vibrant to be natural. But here's what most people don't know. The active compound in turmeric, called curcumin, is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory substances found in nature. And inflammation? That's the silent enemy of your brain. Chronic inflammation in brain tissue is directly linked to the development of Alzheimer's disease. When your brain is inflamed, it's like trying to think through a thick fog. Curcumin goes in and puts out those inflammatory fires, giving your neurons room to breathe and function properly. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Curcumin has this incredible ability to cross the blood-brain barrier, which is like a security checkpoint that protects your brain from harmful substances. Most compounds can't get through, but curcumin can. Once it's inside your brain, it gets to work breaking down amyloid plaques, those sticky protein clumps that are the hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. Studies from UCLA showed that people who consumed curcumin regularly had significantly fewer amyloid deposits in their brains compared to those who didn't. But there's a catch. And this is critical. Your body doesn't absorb curcumin very well on its own. If you just take turmeric by itself, you're only absorbing about 1% of it. The other 99% just passes right through your system. That's where black pepper comes in. Black pepper contains a compound called piperine, and this is where the magic happens. When you combine turmeric with black pepper, the piperine increases the absorption of curcumin by up to 2,000%. Yes, you read that right, 2,000%. It's like unlocking a door that was previously sealed shut. This is why you should never take turmeric without black pepper. They're a team. Think of turmeric as the star player and black pepper as the coach that makes sure the star actually gets on the field. Research published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that participants who took curcumin with piperine for 18 months showed improved memory scores and less accumulation of brain proteins associated with dementia. This isn't theoretical. This is real-world data from real people.
So, how much should you take and when? The sweet spot for most seniors is about 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder mixed with a pinch of black pepper daily. You can add it to your morning eggs, blend it into a smoothie, stir it into warm almond milk as a golden latte, or even sprinkle it on roasted vegetables. The key is consistency. Your brain doesn't regenerate overnight. It needs time and consistent support. Some people start noticing clearer thinking and better word recall within 4 to 6 weeks. Others take a bit longer, but the research is clear. Daily consumption over time creates a protective shield around your brain cells. And if you're worried about the taste, don't be. When you mix it with other foods, it's actually quite pleasant, earthy and warm, not overpowering at all. One more thing before we move on. Always choose high-quality turmeric powder or fresh turmeric root if you can find it.
Avoid turmeric supplements that have fillers or artificial ingredients. You want pure organic turmeric and whole black peppercorns that you grind yourself or pre-ground black pepper from a trusted source. Your brain deserves the best fuel possible. And remember, this is just the first of 4 ingredients we're covering today. Turmeric with black pepper sets the foundation, but when you combine it with what's coming next, the effects multiply. So let's move on to ingredient number 2. And this one is as delicious as it is powerful.
All right, ingredient number 2 is one that I guarantee you're going to love: blueberries. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Dr. Wells, blueberries? Really? That seems too simple. But trust me, the science behind these little blue gems is absolutely stunning. Blueberries are packed with compounds called anthocyanins, which give them that deep blue-purple color. These anthocyanins are powerful antioxidants that specifically target brain cells and protect them from oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress like rust forming on metal. Over time, it damages and destroys. In your brain, oxidative stress kills neurons and accelerates memory loss. Blueberries come in and act like a protective coating, preventing that rust from ever forming. Research from Tufts University found that blueberries can actually reverse age-related memory decline. Not just slow it down, but reverse it. That's the kind of power we're talking about. The recommended amount is 100 to 150 grams per day, which is roughly 3/4 of a cup to 1 full cup. That might sound like a lot, but it's easier than you think. You can add them to your morning oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie with that turmeric we just talked about, toss them into a salad, or just eat them as a snack. Fresh or frozen, it doesn't matter. In fact, frozen blueberries often retain more nutrients because they're frozen right after harvest. A study conducted at Harvard followed over 16,000 participants for 20 years and found that those who ate blueberries and strawberries regularly experienced cognitive decline that was delayed by up to 2.5 years compared to those who didn't eat berries. Imagine getting an extra 2.5 years of sharp, clear thinking just from eating a cup of blueberries most days. That's not a small thing. That's life-changing. What makes blueberries so special for the brain specifically? It's all about blood flow. The anthocyanins in blueberries improve circulation to your brain, which means more oxygen and nutrients reaching those hungry neurons. Better blood flow equals better memory, faster processing speed, and improved decision-making. There was a 12-week study where older adults with early memory decline drank blueberry juice daily. By the end of the study, they showed significant improvements in learning ability and word recall compared to the placebo group. Their brains were literally functioning better. And here's another fascinating fact. Blueberries help your brain create new neural pathways. It's called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself and form new connections. The more neural pathways you have, the sharper and more resilient your mind becomes. Now, should you eat them fresh or frozen? Honestly, both work beautifully. Fresh blueberries are wonderful when they're in season, usually summer months, and they're perfect for snacking.
Frozen blueberries are convenient, affordable year-round, and just as nutritious. I personally keep a big bag of frozen organic blueberries in my freezer at all times. Every morning, I throw a handful into my smoothie along with a teaspoon of turmeric, some almond milk, a banana, and a little honey. It's delicious, it's easy, and my brain thanks me for it. The key, like with turmeric, is consistency. Your brain needs these anthocyanins regularly, not just once in a while. Make blueberries a non-negotiable part of your daily routine, and within weeks, you'll notice the fog lifting. All right, let's move on to ingredient number 3, and this one is all about giving your brain the essential fats it desperately needs.
Now let's talk about ingredient number 3, and this is where we get into the actual building blocks of your brain. Fatty fish. I'm talking about salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These fish are absolutely loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically 2 types called DHA and EPA. Here's something most people don't realize. Your brain is made up of about 60% fat. Not just any fat, but specific types of fat that come almost exclusively from your diet. DHA, which stands for docosahexaenoic acid, is the primary structural component of your brain cells. It's literally what your neurons are built from. If you're not getting enough DHA, your brain can't repair itself properly, and it definitely can't build new connections. EPA, or eicosapentaenoic acid, works as a powerful anti-inflammatory agent that protects those brain cells from damage. When you eat fatty fish twice a week, you're giving your brain the exact raw materials it needs to stay strong, flexible, and resilient. Why specifically salmon, sardines, and mackerel? Because these fish have the highest concentrations of omega-3s, and they're also lower on the food chain, which means less mercury accumulation. Mercury is a concern with larger fish like tuna or swordfish, especially for seniors. But salmon, sardines, and mackerel are considered very safe options. Wild-caught salmon is ideal because it has higher omega-3 content than farmed salmon, but honestly, even farmed salmon is beneficial. Sardines are often overlooked, but they're a nutritional powerhouse, incredibly affordable, and you can find them canned in every grocery store. Mackerel is rich, flavorful, and packed with brain-boosting fats. The research is absolutely compelling here. A study published in Neurology followed over 1,000 older adults and found that those who ate fish at least twice a week had larger brain volumes and better cognitive function than those who rarely ate fish. Larger brain volume means more active, healthy tissue. That's what we want. The twice-weekly minimum is based on extensive research showing that this frequency provides enough omega-3s to maintain brain health without overdoing it. Think of it like this. You're not trying to flood your system all at once. You're creating a steady, reliable supply of the nutrients your brain craves. Some people worry about mercury, and I understand that concern completely. But here's the reality. The benefits of eating fatty fish far outweigh the minimal mercury risk, especially with the fish I'm recommending. The FDA and EPA both confirm that salmon, sardines, and mackerel are among the safest fish for regular consumption. If you're still concerned, rotate between different types, choose wild-caught when possible, and stick to the twice-weekly guideline. Your brain needs omega-3s to function, and fish is the most bioavailable source, meaning your body absorbs it better than any supplement or plant-based alternative. How should you prepare it? Keep it simple. Bake salmon with a little olive oil, lemon, and garlic. Grill mackerel with herbs. Toss sardines on whole grain toast with avocado. The key is not to overcook it because excessive heat can damage some of those delicate omega-3 fats. And here's a bonus tip. Pair your fish with leafy greens or a side of blueberries. Remember, we're stacking these ingredients for maximum benefit. When you combine omega-3s from fish with the antioxidants from blueberries and the anti-inflammatory power of turmeric, you create a synergistic effect that's far more powerful than any single ingredient alone. Within 6 to 8 weeks of eating fatty fish twice a week, many people report better focus, improved mood, and clearer memory.
Your brain is literally rebuilding itself with the right materials.
All right, we've covered 3 ingredients so far, but the fourth one might surprise you because it's something people usually think of as a guilty pleasure. Let's dive in. Ingredient number 4 is pure cocoa. And I'm not talking about sugary hot chocolate mix or candy bars. I'm talking about raw, unsweetened cocoa powder. The kind that tastes a little bitter on its own but is absolutely loaded with compounds called flavanols. These flavanols are game changers for your brain because they directly increase blood flow to the areas responsible for memory, learning, and processing speed. A study from Columbia University found that participants who consumed high flavanol cocoa for 3 months showed improvements in memory that made their brains function like they were 20 to 30 years younger. Let me say that again. Their brains functioned like they were decades younger just from drinking cocoa daily. The mechanism is simple but powerful. Flavanols relax and widen your blood vessels, allowing more oxygen-rich blood to reach your brain cells. More blood flow means more energy, better communication between neurons, and faster mental processing. The recommended amount is just 1 teaspoon of pure cocoa powder per day. That's it. 1 teaspoon blended into a morning smoothie, stirred into oatmeal, mixed into Greek yogurt, or even whisked into warm almond milk for a brain-healthy hot cocoa. The key word here is pure. You want unsweetened, non-alkalized cocoa powder because the alkalization process, which makes cocoa less bitter, also destroys up to 90% of those precious flavanols. Check the label. It should say non-alkalized or natural cocoa powder. Brands like Navitas, Terrasol, or even store brands that specify non-alkalized work perfectly. Don't waste your time with processed chocolate products that are loaded with sugar and have almost zero flavanol content. We're after the real thing here. The ancient superfood that the Mayans and Aztecs called food of the gods. What makes cocoa so special beyond the blood flow benefits? It also triggers the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, which is like fertilizer for your brain cells. BDNF helps existing neurons stay healthy and encourages the growth of new ones. As we age, BDNF levels naturally decline, and that's part of why memory and cognition start to slip. But when you consume cocoa regularly, you're giving your brain a boost of this crucial growth factor. There was a fascinating Italian study where older adults consumed flavanol-rich cocoa daily for 8 weeks. By the end, they showed significant improvements in attention, verbal fluency, and working memory compared to the control group. Their brains were literally performing better on cognitive tests, and the participants reported feeling more mentally alert and clear-headed throughout the day. Now, here's how I use it personally, and this is something you can start tomorrow morning. I blend 1 teaspoon of pure cocoa powder with half a cup of frozen blueberries, a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, a tablespoon of almond butter, a cup of almond milk, and a drizzle of honey for sweetness. It takes 2 minutes to make, it tastes like a chocolate berry milkshake, and it contains 3 of the 4 brain-protecting ingredients we've talked about today. Then, twice a week, I have salmon for dinner. Boom! All 4 ingredients working together. The cocoa increases blood flow, the blueberries deliver antioxidants, the turmeric fights inflammation, and the fish provides the building blocks. This isn't complicated. It's not expensive. It's just smart, strategic nutrition based on what research shows actually works.
All right, we've covered all 4 ingredients, so now let's put them together into a practical, easy-to-follow 7-day meal plan that you can start using immediately.
All right, friends, now comes the fun part. Let's take everything we've talked about and turn it into a simple, practical 7-day plan that you can start following right away. The beauty of this plan is that it's flexible. You don't have to follow it exactly. Use it as a template and adjust based on your preferences, your schedule, and what's available to you. The goal is to get all 4 ingredients into your week consistently without making it feel like a chore. Every morning, you're going to start with what I call the Brain Power Smoothie. Here's the recipe. Blend 1 cup of frozen blueberries, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of pure cocoa powder,
1 tablespoon of almond butter or any nut butter you like, 1 cup of almond milk or regular milk, half a banana for sweetness, and a drizzle of honey if you want it a bit sweeter. Blend it all together until it's smooth and creamy.
This single smoothie gives you 3 of the 4 ingredients right off the bat, and it tastes absolutely delicious. Drink this every morning and you've already done the heavy lifting for the day. Now for your twice-weekly fish intake, I recommend planning those meals on Tuesday and Friday, or whatever 2 days work best for your schedule. On Tuesday, try baked salmon with roasted vegetables. Season the salmon with olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, and a sprinkle of turmeric for extra brain protection. Serve it alongside broccoli, sweet potatoes, and a side salad with blueberries tossed in. On Friday, go for sardines on whole grain toast with avocado, cherry tomatoes, and a squeeze of lemon. Or if you prefer mackerel, grill it with herbs and pair it with quinoa and steamed greens. The point is to make it easy and enjoyable. If you hate sardines, don't force yourself to eat them. Stick with salmon or mackerel. The key is getting those omega-3s twice a week, not suffering through meals you don't like. Make it taste good so you'll actually stick with it long term.
Throughout the rest of the week, keep incorporating blueberries and turmeric in creative ways. Add blueberries to your oatmeal, yogurt, or salads. Sprinkle turmeric with black pepper on scrambled eggs, roasted cauliflower, or stir it into soups and stews. Make a golden milk latte in the evening by warming up almond milk with turmeric, black pepper, a touch of cinnamon, and honey. It's soothing, anti-inflammatory, and helps you wind down before bed. For cocoa, beyond the morning smoothie, you can stir it into Greek yogurt with a handful of blueberries for an afternoon snack, or mix it into overnight oats. Some people even add a teaspoon to their coffee for a mocha-style brain boost. The possibilities are endless once you start experimenting. The important thing is that you're getting these ingredients daily or close to daily, and you're enjoying the process. Here's a simple shopping list to get you started. Organic turmeric powder, black peppercorns or ground black pepper, frozen or fresh blueberries, wild-caught salmon or canned sardines or mackerel, pure non-alkalized cocoa powder, almond milk, bananas, honey, almond butter, olive oil, lemons, garlic, and whatever vegetables and greens you enjoy. That's it. Nothing exotic, nothing expensive, nothing complicated. You can find all of this at any grocery store. Prep your smoothie ingredients the night before so it's grab and blend in the morning. Cook extra salmon on Tuesday so you have leftovers for lunch Wednesday. Make a big batch of golden milk and keep it in the fridge to reheat throughout the week. The more you prepare and simplify, the easier it becomes to stay consistent. And consistency is what creates lasting change in your brain health. All right, we've covered a ton of information today, so let's wrap this up with the most important takeaways and what you should do next. If you found this information valuable, please hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our weekly brain health videos. Drop a comment below and let me know which of these 4 ingredients you're most excited to add to your routine. And share this video with anyone you know who's concerned about memory loss or Alzheimer's prevention. We've covered a lot today, but the core message is simple. Turmeric with black pepper fights inflammation and clears toxic proteins. Blueberries deliver powerful antioxidants and improve blood flow. Fatty fish provides the essential building blocks your brain needs to repair and regenerate. And pure cocoa increases circulation and stimulates new neural growth. These aren't magic pills, but they are scientifically proven tools that give your brain exactly what it needs to stay sharp, clear, and resilient as you age. Start with the morning smoothie, add fish twice a week, and watch how your mental clarity improves over the next 4 to 8 weeks. You deserve to feel sharp and confident in your thinking, and these 4 ingredients can absolutely help you get there. Always remember, your mind is your greatest asset,